The following Man-Whore podcast was recorded live on August 4th at Karma Lounge in New York City.
Welcome to the Man-Whore podcast.
What's up, everybody? Oh, you fan whores and man whores and sluts alike. What's going on? How you doing? I am your host, comedian-ish Billy Procida. All right. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Quick question. Who here has no idea what the fuck they're at? Like, who got dragged out by a friend? Okay. I don't know, Jennifer. There's going to be some slut boy on the stage hurting himself. It's going to be great. I do a show. I do this podcast, the Man-Whore podcast, where I talk to women I've hooked up with about sex, dating, and why we didn't work out. And we've got 3 fantastic women joining me because this poster is a lie. It's a fake news poster because I have, I booked someone, they canceled yesterday. Look, getting people to do this show is a hard sell. I've been doing this show 4.5 years. We have over 200 episodes. And, man, it never gets easier calling up someone I made out with 5 years ago to be like, can we talk about it to thousands of people? It's pretty rough. But I'm happy to do this in front of all you people. I'm so glad you're here for ManwhoreCon. Yeah. I'm so excited to be able to see your eyes roll in person. I'll get to see you listen to the show the way I imagine it when I record it. So this is going to be really fun. And just a little backstory is a lot of people, when I tell them what I do, they say, why? Why do that to yourself? I had this problem in my early 20s and in college where women would sleep with me, but they wouldn't date me. If you all want to feel bad for me for a moment, take your time. Really, it's just a big old boo-hoo. But I really wanted a relationship. I wanted a girlfriend. But every time I wanted to get more serious, it was always the woman who told me, no, let's keep it super cash. I want to keep it cash. I want to play the field. And what I always found interesting is that it's an interesting gender role reversal because normally when that comes up, if you're the guy with a woman and you say I want something more and she doesn't, it's over. But these women would still be like, no, you're still coming over tonight. Just, keep your feelings to yourself. And so I started the show because I was like, fuck it, I want to find out why. I still don't really have answers. Apparently, I'm very condescending to younger partners, but otherwise, I don't really know what it is I do. One of our guests may have a different opinion. So I'm really excited to share this with you all tonight. So I want to bring up your first guest. Are you ready for a show? Yeah. I can't hear you in the back. Are you ready for a fucking show tonight? Oh, we're going to talk about love and relationships and butt stuff. It's going to be great. Your first guest is a wonderful stand-up comedian. She hosts her very own podcast called The Hot Mess Comedy Hour. I have been on 3 times because I am quite the mess. She's going to do some stand-up, and then we're going to get into it, everybody. So give it up for Andrea Allen.
Yes, give it up for Billy and yourselves again, everybody. Thank you for being here. You still haven't figured out why you're unlikable. That's crazy. That's crazy. You guys hear him, right? He's such a mess. He's lovable, though. A little bit about me. I am a gigantic woman. I'm huge. Sometimes men are intimidated by my height, so I like to break the ice. I like to pick men up. I come up behind them, and I go, I'm gonna fuck you now. I'm gonna fuck you with my giant woman cock. 'Cause I'm bigger than you. And you're gay. me being bigger than you makes you gay. I told your dad already. Everybody knows. Pussy! Then I shake them around. Oh my God, they love it. They totally love it. Prop work, right? Thank you for putting that away for me.
I'm very unlikable, so yeah.
Yeah, I know. We make it pretty good. Oh, don't feel sorry. No one feels sorry for him. He's fucked so many amazing women. It's crazy. It's literally insane. I got here tonight and I was like, all these beautiful women? Are you serious? The patriarchy. What a joke. Look at him. I mean, just kidding. He's great. He's really great. Sometimes men will pick me up, though. And it's rare, but usually it's when they're trying to take me to the bedroom. Have you guys ever had that weird shit? It's like you're already in my apartment. You don't need to pick me up like a little baby and move me over. I'm already letting you fuck me. But I get to experience this great thing when men engage their legs to pick me up, and then a look of fear washes over their face when they realize they can't carry my weight. And then they have to make a decision. Am I gonna drop this bitch? Or am I gonna drag her like a rolled up carpet? Like, yeah! We're fucking you, huge bitch! I weigh 180 pounds, and I'm exclusively fucking these like Brooklyn 120 soaking wet, guitar included. Sorry, Billy. You were out of my range. You
cunt. Okay.
You brought me here. You know who I am. But they think they have the balls to just deadlift me, like, whoop, like that's crazy. That's male confidence right there. It really is. You seem like you'd be a cum crowd. How are we feeling about cum? What's the temperature in the room? Yeah! Cum! Okay. I've drank a pretty decent amount of cum in my life. If I was gonna make an estimation, I would say like a vase full, like a medium Bed Bath & Beyond sized. Not in one sitting. I'm not fucking crazy. Over time. Every woman's had like at least a tablespoon, like maybe a blender's worth. I don't know. A thimble. I'm just guessing. A measuring cup. Also a vase. I see you. Yeah, big vase. Good for you. Honestly, good for you. Here's the thing about drinking cum that I don't like. All of it. Just top to bottom. Terrible. Ugh. Because of porn, men think we just want to be covered in it, like we love it, like a glazed donut. Like, give it to me. I love it. It's so nasty, sir. And we have to act like it's so good, and it's a lie. It's a lie. It's like, okay, have you ever had someone cook you a meal who's a really bad cook, and you have to eat it in front of them? Yeah. She drinks cum and you cook, I guess. I don't know, that's your arrangement. But you're eating the meal and you're like, this is so good. It's tangy. Is there like a little cum in it? Like, serve it up. It's disgusting. Here's the thing, though. I understand sex is gross. Like, I'll drink that cum. I'll put it in a milkshake. I'll blow bubbles. Like, whatever you need. If in exchange, men will eat me out on my period. Oh, now we're seeing who's liberal in the room. Come on. They are equal sexual fluids. You can get AIDS from both of them, and they both taste like bags of rotten human trash. Blood for cum. That is my message. I'm gonna get a flag. Don't you say no to me, sir. I'll take a Diva cup and fucking splash it in your face. This is the third wave of feminism. If you can't get clown face for my enjoyment, then I don't want to know you. Why do I not have a boyfriend? It's crazy.
I know. Why?
So approachable.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Andrea Allen, everybody. Oh, my God. Oh, my. Andrea.
Hey.
Hi. You're still terrifying.
Yeah, I know.
All these years later.
Have you gone soft already?
Yeah, so soft. Well, that was the main thing when I think it's a factor, at least, in why we didn't work out because
I'm more of a man than you'll ever be.
Yes, and I could and you're the only person who I consistently could not stay hard with.
I know.
A very aggressive energy she has. I like a leading. Those of you who don't listen. I like a leading, dominant lady, and yet she terrifies me.
Well, I mean, okay. Was I always terrifying, or was it just once we entered the bedroom did it get more terrifying?
It was just in the bedroom. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I liked you. I wanted to date you.
Oh, I never wanted to date you.
You asked me out, bitch. What are you talking about?
I wanted to hook up with you and see, and then
Second date, she took me on a picnic on the riverfront. That is not I want to fuck you date.
Stop talking about this. I just bought some crackers and cheese. I wasn't putting a ring on it.
You brought a blanket.
Crackers, cheese, but it's 3 items. It's not crazy.
It was one of the sweeter dates, early on dates someone had taken me on.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. People don't
like you.
Yeah, exactly. But what I do enjoy is that even though we tried to date and then you were terrifying and then we did stopped, that we are very good friends.
Did you ever get it up when we?
Oh yeah, no, we have had sex.
Sure.
Just the majority of the times it was a lost cause.
Yeah. I remember one night, probably the night I was most mad at him, he was drunk, hanging around my neighborhood, and I was just come over, man, just come over and fuck me. And he was I want to get cookie dough. And I'm come on, just put out, please. He ate the cookie dough in my bed and fell asleep. And I was this is why men rape. Okay, relax.
At least now
I didn't peg Billy.
I'm just happy now things are a little bit more equal.
Sure.
In the
I knew I'd ruin it
department.
with "This is why men rape."
Yeah. That was frustrating. Well, what you keep bringing up the same fucking pajama story.
Oh God. Yeah.
Do you want to tell it? Or do you want me
No,
to?
you tell it. Tell me your side of the
Well,
story.
you normally, every time I do your podcast or someone's podcast, you tell this story.
Okay, all right. So me and Billy, I like to get stoned. We'll start with that. I like to get stoned. I don't drink. All I have is weed. And thank you very much. It's a horrible life. But me and Billy were on the train together going back to my place, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was stoned.
From Queens.
So
that's for the non-New Yorkers. Hour and a half train ride.
Yes. Yeah, it was long. And I was at peak high when you told me that you had something on underneath your jeans that was weird or funny. You wouldn't tell me what it was. So me being insanely high, I was fuck, maybe he's wearing panties. What if he's wearing women's panties? And this is how he tells me, which is it's fine to be wearing women's panties, but it was just a weird tease. You wouldn't exactly tell me, and you could tell that I was freaking out on how to handle it. And so he just kept dangling it in the air. And yeah, you were. And I was do I tell him I'm not into it? Is he going to reveal that? And I was okay, seriously, tell me. And he's no, I won't tell you. And then we get back to my place. And you go to the bathroom, and I'm having a full-blown...
You went to the bathroom.
Oh, I went to the bathroom.
Because I had to do my...
To throw up.
Yeah. I had to be able to, disrobe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you were wearing... What were the pajama pants?
Well, I had on okay, it was like really cold winter, and I don't own long johns, so I wore these like pajama pants under my jeans, and they have like they're smiley face pajamas. And I knew she thought I was wearing panties, so I was like,
Because I asked, are you wearing panties? And you went, oh, I don't know. And I was like, I'm high as fuck. You need to tell me. I am not in a safe space right now. It's fine if you cross-dress, but you need to tell me, Billy. And you love being right. Billy loves being right more than anything, or he loves like dangling shit over people's heads or just pranking people. So I honestly think this was better than all the sex we had combined was you feeling the power of my fear in your hands.
yeah, it was so hard.
Yeah, you were hard. It's the only time you were hard, yeah.
So she comes out the bath. I said, why don't you go to the bathroom, and then like when you come out, I'll show you.
Oh my God.
Now, what do you remember? Because I think you said this like on a podcast with us before. You said like you had to do like a prep talk with yourself.
Sure, I was
Were you
looking
texting Emily?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Live texting friends, being like, all right, what if it's a thong? What do I do? Do I pull it up to the side? Am I putting it in my mouth? What am I doing? How do you handle this? I'm looking in the mirror being like, you are not a bigot. You are not a bigot. Panties are not a big deal. They're women's panties. It's a little out of your area, but it's fine. He's a weird guy. It's fine. Everything's fine. Because I was like, if I react poorly, I'm going to fuck up your panty thing. And, I don't want to do that. I'm like a really nice person under this horrible veneer of awfulness. And so I was having like a panic attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she came
and
out.
And you were laughing because you're a bad person.
I am. Anyway, she came out, and I was like spread out on her bed in these pajama bottoms, and she was like, "You motherfucker."
Yeah. As a comic, objectively, it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best. Because look, if I had told you, we'd have no story.
Sure. I mean, our story would just be that you couldn't get it up, and I would
exactly, and that's
to
a terrible
tell it
story.
to everyone.
I'm trying to rewrite the narrative here.
Well, you got it up in the pajama pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucked me through the little hole
Oh my God, that was
in
great.
the thing. That's the only time we ever successfully had sex. He pulled the little thing, and it was like the most horrible slumber party we ever had. But there was penetration. Yeah.
Well, now we're very good friends. Right?
Sure.
We talk a lot.
Yeah.
I consider you actually one of my closest friends.
Oh no.
I'm like an asshole. She's an asshole because she knows that makes me so self-conscious.
Sure.
I'm gonna spend the next week wondering, like, did she mean that? Like, is she actually not my friend? What's going on? So, like,
This is for the panties.
yeah. Well, we haven't talked actually in the last, like, I don't know, month or so. You've been finding yourself,
Sure.
right? And then, so I listened to her podcast. And that's really in the last like couple months how I've gotten any updates.
Sure.
And so, how's the? Did you eat that dude's ass yet?
No, he lives in Los Angeles.
Are you prepared to now?
Yes.
So she spent, I swear to God, on her most recent episode, 20 plus minutes on like how to lick butt.
Yeah. Do you go around? Do you put your tongue in? Do you dart in and out? Does it taste like shit? Does it not taste like shit? I don't know. It's the final frontier for me.
But that's the common concern with rimming is the like health aspect. That's most people's thing. They go,
Yeah.
like, ew, like that's why I don't eat ass because
No,
like,
you don't eat ass because you're a wimp.
says the chick who isn't going to eat
But
ass.
I'm going to do it, though.
Oh, you are?
I'm going to do it.
Well, what I thought was interesting was that
Uh-huh.
you said that the reason you were so nervous wasn't the health thing, but you were nervous because like you wanted to be good at it.
Yeah, I don't want to come in like an amateur. This guy's like the ass-eating king, and I'm going to be in there all willy-nilly, popsicle licking. I'm intimidated.
But don't you think if you tell someone like I haven't done that before, you're going to get like a benefit of the doubt?
Of course, but
Like you're
I
gonna get
want
a
to be
curve?
the best. Do you know what I mean?
You can be the best. Like just eat his ass every day for 10,000 hours.
Sure.
And you will be the best rimmer in the game.
I'm going to get like a pocket pussy and be like running upstairs and tonguing it and running down and tonguing it.
Waking up, eating raw egg.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'm a very giving lover. I will. Yeah, I'm also, the positioning is what confuses me. Do you know what I mean? Do we have ass eaters in the audience?
Ass eaters, ass eaters, ass eaters.
Okay. So if it's a guy, is it like, okay. Are you like,
I mean, I can help.
just let me lean on you, okay? So if you're doing it, are the legs like up in the air?
Yes.
And then you're going like that? Clap
Yes.
if yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Well, I I had my ass in last night, so yes, that's exactly how.
Is this too bent over? Yes? Okay. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. How can you get most in there? Is it the bent over? What's the no, standing up? Standing up.
I don't
Legs raised.
Legs raised, yeah, absolutely.
It's like they're at the gynecologist and I'm putting them in the thing, man. It's crazy.
I think the most important thing with rimming is not necessarily the position, this and the other thing. I think it's the enthusiasm.
Sure.
Like if you're just sloppy all up in there, I think you're gonna do fine.
Oh, so you can just like apply a paintbrush with your tongue, just like all the yeah.
Yeah, I think that worst case scenario, just get real nice, sloppy, and wet, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Do you suck? Do you like rim and then you suck and then you rim, suck, rim, suck? Yes. Okay. Oh my God, this is the greatest.
Oh yeah, experts
Yeah.
up front. They wrote the book.
Can you jerk them off at the same time? Okay.
Oh no, that's crucial.
Yes. Standing ovation.
That's definitely crucial. You definitely want to.
Oh, you always want to be jerking.
I think that's helpful. Or if he's jerking himself off, yeah.
Okay. Do you move up the taint at all? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
It's
you.
all.
Yes.
All of it.
How?
All of it.
Okay.
Just make all of it. Leave no dry spots by the end, and you will be great.
Okay, so I'm basically making like a splatter painting with saliva on
Just
his asshole.
Just Hurricane Sandy his whole genital region.
Yeah. Okay. How long do you do it for? And also question. This is just now like a conference with us. Do I put a finger in there? And if so, how far do I get? Am I knuckle? Am I going down here? Elbow. Is that the cum lady from before? Yeah. Pressure with your thumb.
Yeah. Up on the taint.
On the taint?
I like pressure. I like okay.
The lady's talking. Go ahead.
This is my fucking show.
Okay, so you would usually start with like a blowjob and then move on down, and then you could put some pressure on the asshole while you're licking the taint, and then move your hand up and then move down to the asshole.
See, I find that such a tease. See, I like a thumb on the taint, but if you're like putting the thumb on the hole, it's a tease for me because I'm like, oh, she's gonna put it in, and then she never does.
Isn't that good though? And don't you want to like just the tip it with the?
I mean, you're right, but I'm saying as long as you get in there.
I feel like you got to give a little warning. Like you can't just like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm worried about. I've been there. That's shit city.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you got to regulate that diet.
Yeah. Can they, if I, thumb it up there, is there a possibility that they'll shit on me? Have you had, no?
You always run the risk of some poo if you're doing any sort of butt stuff.
Okay. How high of a risk?
I mean, I've run risk of poo even when I'm not doing butt stuff.
Sure. You treat your body poorly.
I mean, no, not
that's
my.
Why.
Not my poo. Hold on. Let me have a drink.
Billy, run the risk of poo proceda, everybody.
I just want to clarify.
Oh, please do.
About a year ago, I was sleeping with someone somewhat regularly, and one time I went over and we were having sex. At one point, I bent her over, and I'm doing her doggy, and I noticed, like, creeping out the butt crack, there was, like, a little nugget of poo. And I could smell it.
Yeah? What do you do? Do you stop?
I was trying to figure, as I was fucking her, I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop to make the decision. I'm going to try to work through it.
Yeah.
And improvise. And I just said nothing.
I you should have told her. It's like having shit in your teeth, but your asshole. Yeah, that's not nice. She's going around with that now.
I thought it would have been look, if it was me, I would have been devastated if it was like, because it wasn't like, oh, there's some like your asshole is pooey. Like we're talking like it's creeping out the crack. I'm not spreading cheek.
Okay.
It's just creeping out there. So, right. That just means you don't know how to like wipe properly.
Just a wet wipe. Just real quick. Just get in with a wet wipe.
And I thought that would have.
Yeah.
I thought she would have freaked out. Should I like had said that, right? Like, wouldn't you be devastated if someone's like, by the way, there's poo coming out of your butt? Crack. not whole. You're crack. Like,
Yeah.
so I just tried to finish quickly and leave.
Oh, God. You have so many problems. I have a question for you guys. And Billy criticized me for he could never get it up because I was too aggressive on top. That was a big problem for him. He felt like I was Amazonian was the word that you were using. And I used to do this thing, and I think you might be right about it. I think it might be a little bit weird, but you know in porn when women are on top, but they're like on the balls of their feet, and they're kind of like bouncing with their whole body? Yeah, I used to do that. And
this is legit a nightmare, I remember. Like,
yeah, you were so scared of this.
I was so scared of you doing this.
Yes.
It's not like, again, this isn't like, it's just for some reason, it's like when you did it, all of a sudden it was so different than when anyone else did.
What? Is that not chill? Is being on the balls of your feet not chill?
No, it is chill. Just somehow when you do, okay, when you saw her act, that's her when she's fucking too.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's a little, look, maybe I'm just not manly enough to handle it.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. Yeah. Don't mess with a bull if you don't want the horns. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, so long as the horns vibrate, maybe I could take it a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
We're better as friends.
I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
Andrea Allen, everybody. Andrea Allen.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. Before I bring up our second guest, I want to do a giveaway. Do we like free shit? You'll notice we got a whole bunch of free like condoms laying around. There's cards, all sorts of fun shit. But I want to give away one. I've got this wonderful T-shirt. Okay, do we like this T-shirt?
Yeah.
Obviously, Man-Whore Podcast and a bald spot on the back, right? It's
Yeah.
So I've got this, and I've also got panties that say "Stay Slutty" on the backside.
Very nice.
And I'm going to give away your choice of either a free shirt or free pair of panties to the person who has had sex the most recently in the crowd.
Oh, shit.
Put your hands up. Do not shout shit. Put your hands up. Who thinks they've had sex the most recently? All right, I see something here. I say something here. In the back next to the guy with the hat.
Over here, too.
Yeah. How recently? Yes, you. This morning? Vaguely what time do you think? Like 10 a.m. Okay. 10 a.m. 10. What about you? Around 2. Can anyone be around 2 o'clock today? Really? Oh. Okay. Fella with the 4 squares on his shirt. An hour ago.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Can anyone be an hour ago? Is anyone like 10 minutes ago in the bathroom? It's anybody. Can anyone be an hour ago? Going once, going twice. Give that man a free T-shirt and a pair of panties. What's your name, sir? Richie. How was the sex an hour ago? Where was it? In a bedroom. What, a bedroom, like that's an interesting article. Was it your bedroom or was it someone else's bedroom? So the person you were having sex with? Yep. Oh, less.
Nailed it.
Boring.
It's very boring. It's just very recent.
Okay. Very recent. Hey, that's what we were measuring by. Well, I just wanted to hear him say like, oh, it wasn't in either of our bedrooms. It was in some random person's place. That's a fun story for me. If you know my Craigslist encounters, you know that. You know, I get tired of it. Maybe if we were fucking, in the park.
I don't know why you keep bringing up scenarios where it's gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
I'm not Okay, Andrea. We'll deal with that later. Sir, go see my assistant Mia in the back. Pick one out. Give him a round of applause. An hour ago. And he's still up and active. Good for him. This episode is brought to you in part by cam4.com, the leading webcamming website on the internet where you can go see some good old-fashioned, regular, everyday people get naked and touch themselves. Yeah, that's hot. They've got a variety. And you know what? Cam4 is going to give you 50 free tokens just to try the thing out. Just see, is this your thing? And if it's not, no big deal. But I have a feeling you're going to be buying some more tokens after you use up these ones. You go to cam4.com, use promo code ManWhore, you get 50 free tokens. I think you should sign up, take those tokens, then go and throw them at former ManWhore podcast guests Nikki Knight and Ella Darling. Just when you tip them in the chat box, let them know who sent you. Again, go to cam4.com, use promo code ManWhore. By the way, that's CAM4.com, because the other cam4.com we spell out for, yeah, that's where you buy wholesale guns. So not the same thing. Cam4.com, promo code ManWhore. Do it. ManwhoreCon is also sponsored by Real Love Sex Dolls, the #1 seller of lifelike premium quality sex dolls. Ooh, yeah. We've all heard about the sex dolls. We've seen them on TV. We've read about them in the think pieces. But have you ever considered just going ahead and getting one for yourself so you always got someone to come home to? Or something. I don't know, depending on how you identify sex dolls. But holy shit, you go to the website, reallovesexdolls.com. These are beautiful dolls, and I feel like you could just go, if you don't want to buy a sex doll, go to the website and you can jerk off to these. I feel like I just might after this. And Real Love Sex Dolls is so happy to be sponsoring ManwhoreCon. They are offering a special deal to my listeners, 10% off any doll 140 centimeters and larger. I had to go look that up in a converter. It's about 4.5 feet for us American peoples. I don't know what American website lists things in centimeters, but hey, you do you, boo-boo. 10% off your very own sex doll when you use promo code ManWhore18 at reallovesexdolls.com. Again, that's reallovesexdolls.com, promo code ManWhore18. Now let's get back to the show. All right, our second guest tonight, and Andrew's going to be staying on, joining us to give her color commentary. Our second guest is someone who's also, she's been on the podcast before. She's someone, to give a little context, I used the word dated for about 9 months.
Did she use the word dated?
Well, we can talk about it. I feel like when you're fucking someone for 9 months and you're talking about emotions, you can call it dating. I don't know.
Sure. Did she get you a picnic blanket?
No, she fixed my shoulder.
Oh, that's nice.
She was my physical therapist. But someone who I've also grown to become like pretty good friends with over the years. So everybody, I want to get a round of applause right now for Emily. Everybody, can you give it up for Emily? Woo! Come on down. If you want to shift over.
Yeah. Oh, shit! I'll shift it. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I haven't seen you since my last appointment, like last week.
It's true. It's true.
Shoulder's doing good.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. That's my doing.
That's your doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feeling?
All right, got a little like flop sweat going on, but otherwise pretty good.
Little flop sweat. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you did the podcast a couple years ago, and
Like a year ago,
A year
I think.
ago,
Yeah.
And
Remember when Billy cried, guys?
oh my,
You made
God.
Billy cry?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Bro. I've been trying for years.
Never will. Well, you have to make someone love you to make them cry.
Okay, you wanted it. You loved me.
yeah, it was intense.
Well, so did you listen? So basically, what happened was like she took me to breakup brunch, is what I call it, because like you knew
You want to be on neutral ground.
right.
Right.
Yeah, neutral ground, but like you knew exactly what was happening at this brunch. I found it offensive that you let
Yes.
me order food.
I found it offensive that you walked away and let me pay for it.
One of us had a salary. The other one was a broke artist with a fuck show. In my defense. Also 2018. But yeah, then I went home and I was very emotional. I put that on the podcast.
Very
And
emotional.
Did you listen to that?
I certainly did.
And what was that experience like?
It was pretty bad. I mean, this is a comedy show. Like, I don't want to like bring down the mood.
Okay.
But, yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm not a public person, so I figured that all your listeners would be hearing that you were very torn up about it, and that I was a bad person, and that I have no way to defend myself because I'm not public about these kinds of things. So
you feel like a power imbalance.
yeah. You also, said a lot of things on social media around that time.
Oh, he loves doing that.
Yeah, he really likes to rage book.
I'm very public with my breakups.
Yes.
Yeah.
But am I question? Yeah.
Answer, please.
My kid guy's also a friend on Facebook, so like he knows too.
Yeah.
But what? Fair question.
Such a mess.
Fair question. When things ended, I don't think things with us ended like poorly. It was
No, we just
it was a very,
fizzled, yeah.
It was a very like, hey, this is not. But like, did you find that I was saying like things that were really hateful and shitty about you, or was it more like just maybe like, hey guys, I'm sad?
I'm sure it was fueled by being sad, but I feel like you definitely had an emotional investment in the situation that I didn't, and maybe sort of took that out a little bit on me / the universe,
Well, you keep saying, you've said in the past that like you didn't have any emotional, like you had some emotional investment because what we were doing was not what you normally did. Hold on. This reason. Well, you were in an open relationship at the time.
Correct.
Like a long open relationship, like an impressively, like you guys were nailing that for a long time.
Correct.
And part of the thing what you did right was like pretty much you fucked people a few times and that was it.
Yes, that was the stated parameters of that relationship was to not get super invested in anyone else besides, our primary relationship. I'm no longer dating that person. So clearly like we didn't have the best communication. And there were times where I sort of broke that rule. But I felt like I never offered you false hope. And you tend to weaponize your emotions a little bit sometimes.
Facts.
I own that.
Facts.
I own that.
I mean, can I talk about New Year's?
I was going to bring it up. So if you
Okay.
when you say weaponize your emotions, that's the first thing that comes to mind. That's one of the few times I do feel bad about because that was a shitty thing to do.
Did he show up at your house with a gun?
No.
You really think
An
I'm
emotional
man enough
gun.
to, like, show up with a gun anywhere? Come
You're
on.
more
now.
of like a boombox crying.
Yes.
Way
Yes.
more.
More my move.
To me, that's a gun. Yeah, that feels like a
Yeah,
gun.
to Andrea, any expression of love is a weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, same. But
I feel like we would get along great.
yeah, I think so. I mean, we had a New Year's party. My ex and I were hosting a New Year's party. I said, we're having a New Year's party, Billy. You can come if you want to. We're just friends in this context. Okay?
Question.
And then
did the
yes.
ex know about your dealings with Billy? Was it don't ask, don't tell?
It
What
was
the
don't
line?
ask, don't tell, essentially.
Okay.
Which maybe was an ill-advised move on my part, which I'll totally own that. And at the bar, where I had said, like, in this context, I'm here with my boyfriend at the time, and you are a friend, and you're welcome to come, and that's great. And on my way to the bathroom at the bar, he sort of like corners me in the stairwell.
It's not that type of corner sell down.
This is not a Me Too situation.
It's not a Me Too situation, but I was like, hey, I don't really want to be like this close to you right now. Like, this is a little bit weird for me. And you said, I love you, and left.
Well, not right there. I later did that. But yeah, that's the shorter version.
Another question. Why invite him?
I mean,
not like, oh, I don't want to invite him to parties. He's fun, but like, why? If you sensed that he was kind of volatile, were you just trying to be inclusive?
I didn't sense
You
that
didn't
it was
sense
that
it. Oh,
volatile.
okay. All
Yes. I thought maybe we could sort of like compartmentalize a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I think the emotions were a little fresher because that was New Year's. I think we started fucking like in the September before. So, like when you're like 3-ish months in, that's I feel like when like a lot of like emotions start to like hit a threshold. Like if you're really into somebody and you haven't told them, like I feel like 3-ish months you start being like, I gotta tell her. I gotta tell
Yeah,
her.
that's the L-bomb time usually.
Yeah.
I mean, also alcohol, but
Sure.
but yeah, I was like, that is not what I wanted to hear, and also I don't feel that way. So, but then you sort of like left, and I couldn't, deal with it at that time.
Yeah. And I always felt shitty because, like, in that moment, like, I used the L word as a weapon, as like something that hurts you, which is like shitty.
Did you love her though at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still believe that what I felt, because like, look, we all like thought we loved people that we didn't. We've all been 12, you know.
Sure.
And I think looking back, even when we did the podcast, like I still think those feelings were valid and real all the time later.
I'm not discounting the feelings. I'm just saying, like,
No.
you know, situation was a little rough.
Wasn't a cool thing to do. No, totally. She was asking like if I actually did. And I was like,
Yeah.
Upon further examination, I was like, yeah.
Sure. Well, because there's unrequited love, which is still love, and then there's also infatuation with someone who's like emotionally unavailable, which kind of seems like that was the situation. Not that you're emotionally unavailable, but you weren't fully available. Like it didn't seem like you ever made it seem like you were going to be available.
Yeah, I probably strung things along longer than I should have, which is
9 months.
But the latter part of that, I sort of like escaped into this like yoga teacher training that I was doing, and I sort of
Yoga.
Come take my class anytime. But, you know, during that time I was like, oh, I'm not going to be available. It's 10 weekends. I have a full-time job and I'm doing this training. I'm just like, I'm not going to be available. Sorry. And I kind of used that as a reason to not hang out, when at that point I should have just said, like, also, I don't like you like that. But, you know, during those 10 weekends, I did a lot of reflecting, and then I decided to go to brunch and tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have questions for you, Billy.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been in this situation before
This is
where
the Manwhore podcast hosted by Andrew.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's fascinating. Thank you. Hot Mess Comedy Hour. I've been in your situation where I was in love with someone and I knew that they didn't love me back in the same way, and I dated, big air quotes, that guy for like years, 2 years to be exact. And
Is this the shithead?
There's so many of them. Like,
Okay,
you know what
fair.
I mean?
The comedian shit. I just
No.
wanna get context in my head.
Yeah, musician. Same shit. But when I looked back on that relationship, I was like a year in, I already knew where we stood. And I was just kind of lying to myself to pretend that there was maybe a chance that we were going to work out. But the way you find that out, I feel like, is just by telling the truth. Like, instead of not saying anything, are you worried that if you told her, like, I love you and I want to be with you, she would say no, and that's why you didn't say anything?
I mean, I didn't say anything. I mean, probably that. In that moment, I said something New Year's Eve because I was like, I wanted to hurt her.
Yeah.
And because I was very hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And hurt people.
Wow,
And,
deep, man.
oh, yeah. Did you guys think this was a comedy show? I'm sorry.
I can go back and scream about cum if you want.
Yeah, we can do that. I think this is more fun and real, but
Yeah.
So I'm not understanding.
Like, do you think that the onus should have been on you at, like, say 6 months to be like, all right, this seems like I'm not getting what I want, so I should ask for what I want or leave?
I genuinely, and I still.
What made you think that she was going to break up with her?
I didn't think she was gonna break up with her boyfriend.
Okay, so what did you think?
Well, in the context of every dude in your open relationship that you fucked was just a fuck, and like 1 to 3 times type of situation, and that I was getting stuck around for as long as I did. I thought I meant more and mattered more, and it wasn't like let's hang out and like sometimes we would grab drinks, we talked a lot. So I thought I meant more to you than I maybe did, and I thought like, oh, she's just like holding it in like that. I fooled myself with that.
I mean, for clarity, it wasn't like the only time that I had a slightly extended
Oh, shit.
dating situation.
That's what that's
with
how I
someone.
understood it.
I mean, like early on in my open relationship, I like saw someone for a period of time that Arshan knew about, that we like talked about, and I was like, I think I like this person, like I'm gonna see it out, and that was like an extended dating period. But
then there was a conversation. I think isn't that when you guys transitioned to Don't Ask, Don't Tell? Like, so to me, I
Essentially.
saw that as like a different era of your switch.
Essentially. I mean, like, I'll be brutally honest also, like, with myself and you, and I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, which
Are
is...
you about to say I never made you come? Because that would be...
No. I mean, I could. That would make for a good show, but it's not true.
that would be a good podcast.
I actually never made you come, I think. I feel like.
But I around that time I was sort of interested in like play parties and learning about other like sexual opportunities that are out there, and you were sort of an entree into that. So you had like access to parties and things like that, and I was very interested. But and I feel like I definitely conflated that interest with like emotional interest in dating.
It's like watching the heart break live. It's so good.
This isn't new information.
No.
So yeah, I mean, there was
that part is a little bit, but it's okay. I'll cry later.
yeah, and you all will get to hear about it on the next episode.
Look, when I cry on the podcast, it's usually by myself in my room, and I stitch it in later.
You'll see it on Facebook.
Yeah.
You'll see it everywhere.
Follow me on social media.
Don't worry, you'll hear about it. You'll be texting me, Andrew, should I post this thing about my ex? And I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm going through something, I can't talk to you.
Sorry. But so there was lots of things that I knew that you had access to that was like, this is really interesting. And then I sort of conflated that with like our interaction in a way that obviously wasn't good. It sort of led things to last longer than they should have, probably.
So if I could, I took you to your first sex party. Actually, I also took you to your first sex party.
Yeah.
That's the thing I do. Apparently, I don't know. But
You should stop doing that, and then people might not be attached in such a way.
But at the same time, like I met one of my ex-girlfriends at a sex party.
And that worked out.
Girlfriend.
Historically speaking, it's been going well for you, Billy.
Fair. But I don't pitch it to them. Like even the most recent ex, like I also took them to the first party. But it's usually like asked of me. It's like, hey, can you take me? I would like to. Oh, that would be interesting to go to.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like an intern for your weird, freaky world. Like you're showing me around, and you made me incredibly comfortable. I don't think I would have gone to a sex party with anyone else but you, especially as friends now. I know you got to give them something. As friends now, like you made me feel comfortable. You introduced me to the world and didn't put any pressure on me to do anything sexual. And I was just like, yeah, okay, I get this now. Fucking, oh, good, okay, yeah.
We sat next to each other and watched people fuck.
It was amazing.
Like as friends, we were fully clothed, friends,
popcorn,
friends, watching. Like people were getting fucked. Like two dudes fucked each other right in front of us.
It was beautiful. I was like, look, they're great. That's great.
She's like, the heat stays hard. Why didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was also like a really exciting thing. I think I was able to have some new experiences that I had already been interested in, and was like, oh, here's my opportunity to try it. And that's in a way that's probably using you that you don't deserve. But I thought that was, and I had a great time and felt really comfortable too. And I think that like energy of those new experiences sort of like kept me going in like seeing you, probably because I was like expecting new exciting experiences. But I don't regret it.
Yeah. So if I hadn't taken you to, if I wasn't that type, I didn't have like this whatever fake access that I have, how long do you think I would have lasted around?
2 weeks.
I mean that like New Year's incident really was like unpleasant.
That should have been
really
an ender. I'm surprised you still.
Was that not the end?
No.
Oh,
we
jeez.
fucked 4 months more.
Oh. Yikes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, probably at that point. Yeah. I think maybe I expected like, oh, let's see if there's anything else here that we could like attempt, or like if there's anything else I wanted to like try. I think my first threesome was also.
Was that your first threesome?
I believe so.
So no. Oh no. I remember. Oh, that was my first. Okay, so she was my first threesome.
Right.
But that was supposed to be your first threesome.
With another guy or another girl?
Does it matter? Another. Why does it matter?
So he can masturbate to it later. Get the facts straight. I'm masturbating to it right now. Beautiful people.
I remember this. Now I'm remembering.
I totally forgot about it until you said it. I had recruited someone from Reddit, as I do.
Yeah, you're on
No.
there for hours.
There's so much nerd sex on
and,
Reddit.
and
If you-
Craigslist.
Yeah.
Also.
If you're just willing to make a username, you can find so much fun things.
Yeah.
So we talked about like having a threesome. I found a woman on there, and
It was also like a very hot setup. It was great. I have to give you credit for that.
Thank you. I'm very theatrical with some of my sexual adventures. Do you want to tell the scenario, and then I'll go back into why it wasn't your first threesome?
Our threesome scenario.
Yeah. And then I'll finish up with
How many threesomes are we talking about here?
We're talking about two, technically.
Okay.
Yeah. So Billy had this like.
I'm going to interrupt you real quickly. Hey, Mia, because if Andrea's going to keep you on stage, can someone give me another bourbon, both bourbon on the rocks?
Yeah.
I make them
Please,
drink
thank
here.
you so much.
I can.
No, Andrew.
I'm just gonna give it to them.
Sorry.
So I guess you had this like, this is a thing I want to fulfill. Like I want to have a threesome. Is this a thing that you would want to do? I was like, yeah, cool. Sounds good to me. Okay, another guy, another girl, and I said another girl would be fine. I'm into it. And then you said, do you trust me to find someone? I was like, yes, okay. I think that's okay. I feel weird just walking around asking people if they want to have a threesome.
Hi, do you want a threesome? Would you like to have a threesome?
Yeah.
Fivesome? I don't know.
They're down.
All right, you can all after.
5 some.
So, and also you do the Reddit thing, and I was like, all right, I'm sure you can find someone. Like, I trust that you have ways of finding people for these types of things. And then I think because I wasn't quite sure if there would be a physical attraction to the person, you offered this scenario, which was, why don't you be blindfolded? And then we can, the two of us will come in, we'll do things.
Actually, I didn't even tell you it was going to be two. I said, we will come in, whoever. I didn't tell her which gender, and I didn't tell her how many of us there would be.
That's a lot of trust.
That's right. Yes.
Wow. After the "I love you" spat, this happened.
I think it was a little bit before.
Maybe before.
Oh, okay.
Before.
All right.
And it was like, great, that sounds fine. And then I would have the choice whether to take the blindfold off or not at any point during the activities. And it was great. We met this person. I continued to see her after our encounter.
You've had so many threesomes with her.
And you love her more than him. That's so great. This is the best day.
We'll call her P. How many threesomes have you had with P? Because they're like it's with different dudes, right?
Let's say 4.
Okay.
Wow.
4.
Yeah. So
Maybe 5.
That was supposed to be the first, both of our first threesomes. However, what was it? Was it the night before or the week before? The night
day
before, you and your boyfriend out of nowhere had a threesome with one of his fuck buddies.
How
Yeah,
much do you think
it
this
was-
person gave a shit about you? That's crazy. Yeah. That's just like blatant not giving a shit. No offense.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just happened to come up the day before I was out with my boyfriend, and he was like, this is crazy, but this girl is texting me. I used to hook up with her. Would you want to like go over there with me? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. Then I'll have practice for tomorrow. So then I got to your place and I was like,
I'm ready.
actually, this is not my first threesome anymore. But you know, it was great.
Yeah.
I still, you know, I continued to see that girl a little bit afterwards. I have you to thank for that. So I think it worked out fine.
I do too.
And after like a couple years, I don't know, like a year or two of not talking, after like, you know, the brunch, I think, you know, I'm happy that we started being friends and friendly again. My shoulder got fucked up, and so it's like she fixed it again. This time, no happy endings on our appointments, but like I'm happy. I'm happy that, you know, we were able to be civil, because for a while and I'm not going to say you, I'm going to say I was not able to be civil.
Yes, I'm happy too. I don't like it when people are mad at me. I'm very much a people pleaser, and I am happy that we can have this kind of talk, and it's okay.
In front of a paying audience.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Emily, everybody, give it up for Emily.
Emily!
Fantastic. All right. Before I bring up our third guest, I just want to give a shout out right now to our presenting sponsor, Motor Bunny.
Woo! Yeah.
People know what it is. The Motor Bunny is a fantastic sex toy. It's a $1,000 sex toy. I'm so happy that I get to own one. I could never afford it.
Where do you store it?
Huh?
Where do you store it?
Oh my god. I used to have it in a box, and then I lent it to a sex educator friend who wanted to borrow it for a party. And so when I went back to his place to pick it up, he had it in an Amazon Fresh bag. And I just kept it. So in my closet, there is a Amazon Fresh bag with this big boat engine with a dildo on it. It's a fantastic toy. It vibrates crazy much. They have a lot of really cool attachments. They also offer financing, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
I say you should get a Motor Bunny and finance it just for the Repo Man situation 3 years later.
You can't take it. It's covered in shit.
Just so something knocks my door with a clipboard, be like, hey, I'm here to pick up a fuck machine. Where do you missed your payments? It's 2018. Isn't it cool? You can finance a laptop, finance a car, you can finance a fuck machine. It's really cool, and they're offering $50 off if you use promo code ManwhoreCon at checkout. They also pay to make most of ManwhoreCon and this show happen. So I at least want to give a quick fake round of applause for Motor Bunny. If you will.
Yeah. Awesome.
They are fantastic, and so are a lot of our other fantastic sponsors, which you can see on this wonderful poster. And now we're ready for our third guest.
Yeah.
All right. This third gal is very recent in my dating history. Things kind of petered off. I think it was more of her inclination, as tends to be for me. I'm like, hey, I want to date you. And she's like, probably not. I think she's really fucking cool, though. I want everyone, please give a round of applause right now for Alyssa, everybody. Alyssa! Hey, you. Sit on down. Hello.
Join the crew.
Join in the crew. You have backup.
Welcome. Yeah. I always roll deep.
You roll deep. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You stopped texting me at, after midnight. That's kind of nice.
It's this thing I'm calling adulting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. After saying we're good, but then texting me after midnight drunk.
I never saw you though, did I?
Because I never came over.
Because I just like the attention.
Do you?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
That's the after
Okay.
midnight
Is that
text.
yeah.
What was that?
That's the after midnight text. It's
Yeah.
I don't actually want to see you, but if you can respond, please.
Yeah. 200%.
What, you want to know you still had it 3 weeks later?
Yeah, breadcrumbs. I'm not worried
Totally.
about having it.
Oh, clearly.
But it is nice to have that every once in a while.
Yeah.
So,
Well, would you like to contextualize to them how we met and what our sitch was?
sure. I think we're probably maybe the most casual / not really any drama situation at all.
Mm-hmm.
We matched on Bumble, and you'd gone out with a Trump supporter, so I thought I needed to follow up and be like, there are still good people in the world. Yeah, we went on 3 dates? Three or four dates?
Did he tell you he went on a date with a Trump supporter?
Yeah. And I said,
weird.
Did you
no,
have-
not one. Let me clarify, not one. 2 Trump supporters. God, how horny are you?
No, they don't.
It's crazy.
Both times I found out on the date that they were Trumpy, Trump supporters. But I had one woman literally say, I was like, okay. She said, I didn't vote in the 2016 election. I was like, well, if you did, because she was from Iowa where her vote kind of mattered. And it's not New York where if you're the one crazy person, it's it's fine. I was like, hey, why? Who would you have voted for? And she said, I don't know, but I definitely wouldn't have voted for Hillary. And I asked her why, and I shit you not, but her emails.
Yeah.
Internalized misogyny for the win.
Yes.
And then the other one was on live national television. So
So you decided that you needed to redeem womankind.
I was trying to do my part anyway. Thank you.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, I thought I went out with you after my big breakup with a very serious, like almost 2-year relationship. So you were one of the first people I went on a date with. I was like, oh, like she's really cool. You're funny, gorgeous, and I was just like, oh, like maybe this is like a way to maybe like this could be a dating thing. You didn't seem like a fuck person, which was something I liked about you. I like fuck people, but you know, my heart wants different things.
A fuck person.
Yeah, I don't seem like a fuckable person.
A fuck person. Like what?
You didn't seem like you were trying to just like have casual sex. You like seemed like you wanted to go on dates, like actual
Like a picnic
dates.
blanket.
Yes.
Like that.
That was a date.
I know it was.
Okay.
Get over me. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I didn't bring a picnic blanket. We watched football on our first date, so similar.
Yeah.
Very romantic too. I think for me, like you are not usually my normal type, I'll say. And
Oh man.
Please elaborate.
Yeah. He's not my normal
I've-
type either. Yeah.
I have a feeling this is going to involve my love of carbs. What?
not that this is like a great thing, but I date a lot of bros. A lot, like ex-athletes,
Yeah.
frat boys. It's a problem.
But
I
you're
know.
kind-
I'm working through it too.
You're kind of a frat boy in a way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like no, I'm serious.
Oh,
That's
Billy
the
is
kind of how she
so-
introduced herself to me.
yeah. No, like
Billy's
I said,
so fucking sensitive. How did you
know.
get along with him?
I know, right? It's like unmanageable.
it was challenging.
Wow. Really?
Challenging in the sense that like I felt like I had to think a lot more before I spoke than usual
Why is that?
because I felt that I could possibly hurt your feelings and I didn't want to do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Like not like trying to be mean. It just I felt like you are very sensitive. You're a sensitive guy. That's beautiful. We need more of you in the world.
It's you're like she's like we need more of you, but like I'm not gonna date you, but like we need more of you.
No, but other
I guess
people
it's a
need you.
societal thing.
So yeah, I just felt like it didn't come like super naturally for me. Like I had to I felt like I stopped before I spoke to be like, okay, is this joke going to be okay? Like I know that like I didn't want to like push too far because I didn't know how sensitive you were either. I mean, it's the beginning. You're trying to like feel people out, right? So
Well, like jokes like like jokes about people or like a roast joke on me.
probably a roast joke on you.
Okay.
I mean, we can talk about other people all day. Like,
I mean, I've had it pretty bad. I actually roast battled Andrea
Oh, God.
naked.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like I got a little tough skin on jokes.
Yeah, you can take shit when it seems jovial, but when someone approaches like serious territory for you, sometimes you get a little cagey.
For sure. If I know we're doing it, like if you made some sort of joke about not liking me and we're on a date, I'll probably be
I
uncomfortable.
mean, who would like that? Who'd be like, "Hi."
Well, apparently,
yeah.
Alyssa thinks that's like chill to do. I
Because
don't
she
know.
dates monsters.
Have you dated a lot of Trump supporters or like been on dates with Trump supporters?
this was pre-Trump, so pre-Trump, unfortunately, yes. But
And there's because the Trump versus I've said this before on the show. There's a difference between dating a Trump person and a Republican.
Yeah, for sure.
A huge difference.
Yeah.
And if you want to make that like a deal breaker, like I find like that to be totally okay. So I find it very different, like in 2012 dating a Republican versus 2018 dating someone who's still with the guy.
yeah, absolutely, agreed.
Yeah. But like, do you find that dating bros just super attracts that?
It can, but I think like I weed that out pretty quickly too. Like, sure, I like a guy in a backwards cap that can play beer pong, but if you. But also,
Are you just like trolling
if you're not
college
gonna,
campuses?
if you're not gonna, like, I want you to make that last cut, but then also help me fight the patriarchy. So
Yeah.
That's good. Do you find that often? I feel like that's contradictory.
well, we're still searching. It's all a journey, right? It's all a journey.
It's all a journey.
I would like to point out that Billy couldn't drink before we dated.
Oh, you introduced me to whiskey.
Oh, really?
It's true.
I never
It's true.
touched whiskey.
What were you doing?
I don't know. I was drinking screwdrivers.
Yeah, he has.
Oh.
Yeah, like a 20-year-old college chick just drinking screwdrivers.
Oh, I think like a retiree in Boca. Like,
Yeah. Come on. Now he's got bottles of whiskey by his bed all the time.
that doesn't seem problematic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're not covered in tears at all. So, what's your current dating situation?
Well, I am being very casual. I'm actually so I joined the Peace Corps and I'm leaving in 4 weeks. So
That just brought you back up to like probably really decent person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
That
everyone
just-
was real concerned with the frat boy situation.
Yeah.
So
But that just means fuck a lot until then.
yeah, no, that's the full plan.
But when you
you.
were applying for that, you had you said you were like very open to doing like a dating long distance situation if you found a guy.
Sure, I'm a romantic at heart. Like
Are you?
deep in there,
Not
in
for
there,
you.
in there.
Yeah, that's the theme. I get it. Oh, Billy, I love being in a relationship. Not with you. That's I get it. Yeah, that's the running joke.
I mean, logically, no. Do I think a long distance relationship will work
Sure.
while I'm in North Africa? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I'm very open to like a Doctors Without Borders situation, like an
the fuck
expat
is-
situation while I'm there. Like, yeah, I'm open to being in a relationship. I just, sure, there's a part of you that's like, yeah, wouldn't it be great? I found this guy and we're going to make it work over the ocean and, it's going to be a movie. It's romantic. But like, really, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You want to know how gross I was? And how...
Is this going to surprise me?
I mean, probably not at this point. When you shared that you were applying and then you got in, I think the night we went to go see the what's that James Franco movie, The Artist something?
Oh, the Disaster Artist.
Disaster Artist. Yeah.
yeah.
So when we went to go see that, that's when you had found out you got in, and I was like, oh, what's that gonna mean? Date 3, I'm thinking. So I'm like, what's that gonna mean when she leaves in November?
Pattern.
Pattern, right? I don't know how to break it.
You just stop doing it, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Well, what I appreciate from you was your directness. At one point, like I was, when we were trying to like schedule for like another date, you just like, hey, I don't think I'm into that. Fair. And I think everyone should be so decent as to directly say I am not interested. I actually recently had a fuck buddy who like she went for backpacking for like 10 days, and then when she got, I don't know why that was funny, but I like active women. And she got back, and what was that?
Nothing. We're
I'm
talking.
sorry.
We're just talking.
Yeah, we're just talking among ourselves now.
Okay. She got back, and then I was like, "Oh, hey!" So like, "Hey, welcome back, fuck date." She's like, and then she's like, "I actually think this is run its course. I think I'm looking more for a relationship now." 5 stars, which felt nice to have that screenshot to be like,
On what?
the screen on the sex. She was like 5 stars on the sex, like,
Oh.
but I'm like looking for something else. I was like, cool. Great, best of luck on that search. That's how every fuck buddy situation should end. There should not be whining and complaining on his part.
Or telling you they love her and then leaving a party and then continuing to fuck her and be
Right.
like, why doesn't she love me back?
Much less
She
of
gave
that.
me no
Much less of that.
indication.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Emily, I don't think I ever told you, a fucked up thing happened tonight. So I left that bar, the New Year's Eve, and this has nothing to do with you, don't worry. I left in tears. That part had to do with you, but that's it. That's where that ends.
That must have been fun to see.
Yeah. I'm walking to this. We're in Williamsburg. I'm walking to the subway to go home, and some dude said some dumb thing that made me have to open my mouth because I have to be right. I
You
guess.
have to be right.
Oh my God,
all
you
the
have
time.
to be right
It
all the
is.
time.
To be fair, he was
So
saying,
annoying.
It's so annoying.
Well, he was saying
Because you are not right all the time.
Yes. Oh, never right. Never right.
But you don't
always
stop.
thinks he's right. It's crazy. What is the cognitive dissonance, Billy?
I just want to, for the record,
what's
you
your
said
story?
never? Okay. Well, he was saying he was shouting some fucked up homophobic shit, so I kind of stopped the put an end to that.
Okay.
Oh,
whatever.
am I still
Yeah.
wrong, Andrea Allen? Hot Mess Comedy Hour?
I mean, emotionally, you're wrong in life, but in this situation, no. But that wasn't even about that guy. That was about you being a hero. It's always about you being a hero and you being right. Those are the top. Billy
I
Procida.
don't know about that.
Yes,
I don't know about
always.
that.
Always.
It probably had more to do not at all with being a hero. That I just hate that. I hate hearing that dumb shit. If I
Yeah.
hear that, so, like, I'm just gonna speak up. I know. Look, I don't have to do a Facebook post to be like, "Hey guys, look at how much of an ally I am." I'm problematic Procida. I am not trying to be a hero. I think it more had to do. I was still so sad and upset, and I was looking for a fight.
Did someone
to
say
continue.
something homophobic to you, or just in general?
I was passing by and they're saying some things I really was uncomfortable hearing. And so I was drunk and I was heartbroken and I started a fight. But the dude,
Do you physical?
Wait, did you actually fight?
well,
Let's
it
get to that
almost-
portion.
Well, it almost. Dude got in my face. He's like, "Yo, kid, you fucked up. Do you know who I am? I'm Lucky Luciano's great-great-grandson. Do you know who I am?" I'm like, "You're in Williamsburg. Settle down. Like, you ride the L train. You are not hard. Like, settle down, you little fake Italian." And so I almost but he was like, acting like, "I'm gonna stab you." He was like physically threatening. I was like,
Yeah.
"I might get stabbed tonight," and it'd be an interesting end of the story. I get
You'll
away.
feel guilty that you got stabbed, and then you'll be right and you'll win. Yeah.
Oh no! But then I get away from the situation, and then I'm trying to like hail a cab, and some random SUV pulled up and was like, "Where are you going?" And I'm drunk and sad, and I just escaped Lucky Luciano's great-great-grandson. So I'm like, Bushwick. He's like, "Okay, get in." So I just got in some person's car, which is just the epitome of male privilege, I think.
Yeah. White male privilege.
Sure.
White male privilege.
What bad thing's gonna happen to this face? I don't know.
Are you sure you didn't call an Uber?
No.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
He's.
Sure, you didn't know the driver, but he was there to find you. I think that's how the app works.
Definitely not an Uber, but he's driving me, and he sees I'm sad, and he's like, "Sir, why are you so upset?" Yeah. I'm uncomfortable when people call me sir. I'm too broke to be sir to anyone. I call 12-year-olds sir because I'm like, your father has more money than me. I don't know. So he's like, "Why are you so sad?" And I'm like, explaining what happened.
I like this girl.
Yeah. I'm like wiping away tears. I'm telling him what happened. And he's like, "Well, if you want, like, I live."
Sorry.
He's like, "I live close by to here. I have some wine in my apartment if you want to come upstairs."
This is a Me Too
Was he
story.
propositioning you?
He wasn't being direct, but he kept like being like, "You should come up to my place and
Yeah.
drink some wine with me."
You're lucky
Blue
you didn't end
eyes.
up on like Forensic Files.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's real.
Welcome
I've seen this Law and Order
to
episode. It's
every
not good for
woman's
you.
experience in a cab.
Yeah, no
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Did he drive you to your house so he knew your address?
I stopped him about.
Yeah.
I stopped him as soon as I started realizing what was going on. I stopped a block. I was like, "You can let me out over on this corner, like a block and a half away." And then I waved from the drive away,
Yeah.
so then I could like escape home and drink wine by myself the way I preferred to.
Good.
But-
So, can I ask,
Yeah, of course.
in your well-reasoned and polite dismissal of Billy, was this over text or in person or on a phone call?
Text.
And it was fair, and I think it was like in response to like me trying to like schedule something, which I think is like, you know.
Yeah, I felt it was
fair.
early enough, and we did not have sex either. So
Well, we
Sex warrants a phone call.
yeah, I mean, I think it could change things possibly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like if it continued, but it was early enough that I felt like a text message was fine, and it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like he was being, he was really putting in the work. Like, as you should when you're dating and you like somebody, to make plans. And I just was like, okay, I know that I'm not going to want to go on another date again, but I wanted to be friends with you.
Sure.
So I felt it was like a better option just to be like, okay, this is not romantic for me.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
You have so many friends.
And then, pretty much they're all on the stage. But friends, and yet then all of a sudden, like, a couple of months later, you start texting me like exclusively after midnight, like between 12 and 2 a.m., being like, "You should come over and cuddle," but this is very platonic. and like we can talk about life and cuddle and like be in my bed.
Right.
and-
Well, that's because you're a giver.
Yeah.
You're a
Wait.
giver. I would not have to do anything.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, what? Part
go
of it
down
was
on you.
attention,
Yeah.
and also, you would just go down on me forever, and I could lay there and then roll over and go to sleep, and it would be okay.
But you said, well, if you had, wait,
That's what he did to me. The cookie dough,
Hold
falling
on.
asleep all the
hold
time.
on, wait. When you were hitting me up, were those you were like, oh, like I hope like he comes over, maybe he'll eat me out or something? Is that what that was?
Possibly, yeah.
You kept saying friends. I said no because you were being wishy-washy about the friends thing.
Well,
if you had
because
just said that,
didn't wanna hurt
hey,
your
would you want to come over?
feelings.
Well, yeah, but I was also wishy-washy about it actually happening.
If you had just said, hey, come over and eat me out, I would have been there in a minute. Yeah.
Right, but
But
I
then you
wasn't
might
sure
have
that
had
I really
feelings
wanted
about
it to happen either.
Yeah.
I just wanted the conversation to be happening. I wanted the option to be there.
Breadcrumbing. That's what this is called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be
it's true. It is.
What's,
It's called.
wait, what the fuck is breadcrumb?
Oh, it's a very common phenomenon. I think for a lot of women.
A phenomenon?
Phenomenon.
Yeah.
For women, right?
Really?
Like,
Okay.
I don't actually want the investment of energy in like having to fuck, but if I can get a response from someone, it makes me feel like I warrant attention.
It's also called benching too. Like if you're not.
These are all blogger
necessarily-
words, by the way.
Keep 'em on the bench.
clearly.
Yeah, keep them on the bench. They're not the A squad, but
You always have
in
a full
pinch-
roster, but someone might not be in play right now.
Exactly. But the thing is, like, I've benched, but I've also been benched. I think
Yeah.
in like
All of us, yeah.
in like dating area, it's not fucked up because it's not like anyone knows where they stand or anyone owes anything to anyone at that point. It's just kind of like you want to fuck.
Yeah. And I would have responded. See, I think what it was I didn't want to. You were being very clear with saying like this is a just friends thing, and I thought that meant like you wanted me to come over and like literally cuddle, and this
Oh,
was,
come on! You didn't actually think
I
that.
genuinely, it was when you say the word. If she said like, "Hey, come over and like cuddle," I'd be like, "Okay, maybe she's not being direct, but that's what she wants." But when she adds in the clause, this is just a friends thing, and it's like every time.
Well, because
every
she
time
doesn't want you to think you have a chance of dating her.
That's fine, but
Yeah.
that's not how I interpret it as. We're not doing anything.
Okay, but I'm telling you, it's because she didn't want you to think you had a chance of dating her.
She
Am
could
I
have
right?
just said, "Hey, like I don't want to date, but like I've read
Okay,
on the
what's
internet
difference
you eat
between
box,
this
and then I would have
message
come
and that
over."
message? Yeah.
I'll have a say in this also.
Yeah.
It's not my proudest behavior. I'll say that.
Okay.
Like, but that's exactly what it was. Like, I wasn't really sure that I wanted you to come over, but I wanted to have the option.
So what if I just did? What if I said sure? Were you were you prepared?
I probably would have fallen asleep and not answered. I don't know.
You would have left me out.
Billy likes mean women.
No.
You would have left
I
me
would've-
outside in Williamsburg where there's no good food and just.
No, I would have made sure you didn't come over. Like, no. But it was more that, and going. Yeah, there wasn't anything there really.
Sure,
It just.
okay.
I wanted to be desirable.
Well, you're very desirable. Do you guys think she's desirable?
I'm good. Good now.
That should hold you over for a couple weeks, right? I think-
At least the next 12 minutes.
yeah. Fantastic. Alyssa, everybody. Let's give it up for Alyssa. I want to first ask y'all like a group question that y'all can take your turns answering. First one is there something I could have done that would have prolonged our either dating or hooking up? Andrea, I think if you don't say what I think you should say, you're terrible. Okay, keep going. You go. Sorry, I have an answer in my head. I'm just like, that's the thing.
We
to
couldn't
say.
fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
like, what's the? There's no way.
Yeah.
We were not sexually compatible, but I don't think you wanted to prolong our romantic relationship either.
You know what? I felt like we could have done like an asexual romantic relationship. I could have been into with you because like
yeah.
you're otherwise my type. You're hilarious.
Okay.
You're cute. You're
Yeah.
smart. And although you talk about drinking cum, you're very like knowledgeable about like social issues. So I'm like, that's like those are the big things about women I want to date.
Sure.
And I think that's why we have become such close friends.
Yeah.
And if you say we're not close friends right now, that's gonna be like your pajama pants thing.
I know. I'm not going to say it. I've already hurt you so many times on this stage tonight. I've seen the real pain flash across his eyes. Oh my God. Mwah.
But I think I agree the sexual compatibility was not there.
Yeah.
But I think the
By the way, he talked about us not being sexually compatible on the podcast, and I think I was going over to your apartment to hook up with you, and I was listening to the show. And he's like, "There's this new girl. Things are a little weird." And I was like, "Great, that's great. I'll see you in 10 minutes." So that wasn't great, but I have a podcast too, so I understand like the rules of dating a public person. But yeah, I think, I also think that like we're so meant to be friends.
Yeah.
Maybe we could snuggle, but even that way, I would like
As friends.
I'd make fun of you while we were doing it. Like I can't take it seriously. Yeah.
I would snuggle you while you make fun of me. If
Sure.
just,
It's like a BDSM relationship, but no sex.
Yeah. No. Okay, Emily, how about you?
Literally be less interested. That probably would have.
We could have fucked for like another year, probably.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You could have been crying in the background.
If I could have just kept my emotional mouth, because like, this is weird to say in front of a crowd. Because I've told you this, like, sex with Emily is like fucking fantastic, like off the chains, and so it's
So
like
glad you got to enjoy
my
it.
fucking.
It's great that you had a great time together. Yeah.
I can't believe opening my dumb emotional mouth is the thing that fucking blocks me most of the time.
It blocks you everywhere in life. It's literally your biggest problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm angry, someone's got to take away my phone so I can't tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Like me and the
Yeah.
president, like take away our phones.
Yeah.
Take away the phones.
Let's just give him a fake phone
Give
and
me a
it'll
flip
tweet
phone.
to nowhere. Yeah.
Just like a candy phone
Yeah,
with buttons
right?
on it.
You can
I'll
order
slay-
You go, Billy.
you can order pizza and cry and
Yeah.
also tweet at no one because
Yeah.
no one gives a shit. Yeah.
What about you?
No.
No. Just no.
I just don't. I think friends was the only option for us.
Friends who like maybe at 1 a.m. he'll eat me out and I can go to sleep.
Did you do anything physical?
We almost did.
Was he wearing pajama pants and like showing it through the?
That would have been a hard no.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm so bad at fucking, but you're bringing pajama pants and okay.
That's pajama things. Pants are my thing.
Was there an attempt or
There was an oral
Let her
attempt.
answer. Let her answer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there was an attempt.
Okay. You can leave it at that.
Do you want to? Oh, okay. Do you want to elaborate?
No.
No. Yeah. There was enough of an attempt that like we were naked in a bed, but nothing besides making out happened. But I've also was like face to face with your like genitals and didn't.
Was there
do
cookie
anything.
dough involved?
Well, that's why I didn't do anything because it wasn't cookie dough like smeared on it. Because then I would have been all over it. No. It was a weird night. All right, cool. I want. If you had to give me one tip, general, maybe not as specific to like you and me, but a tip for me in dating, because not what would it be?
Try to get less emotionally involved. Like try to calm down a little bit in the beginning.
Just shove it down. You know, the way toxic masculinity
don't
is supposed
shove
to.
it down.
Okay,
Don't
cool.
shove it down, but you tend to like indulge in fantasy and you make your partners like you put them on a pedestal and you make it a bigger situation than it seems to really be in the beginning. And then that puts you in the position where they have all the power. They sense that you are eager and it kind of like fucks up the initial attraction of things, you know. Be a little bit more aloof, but not rude, just don't offer it up so quickly in that way.
Because it's like overeager.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like supply and demand. If you want to be callous about it, you know what I mean? It's
As
like
Dan Savage says, that shows poor judgment.
yeah, yes.
It's
Exactly.
not the fact that you're being open and honest with your emotions. It's the fact that doing it so early in the relationship is not good judgment.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair. Emily, what about you?
Okay, I don't want this to deteriorate into a roast of Billy.
Oh,
but,
please.
Look, we know what this is. Like, I'm just grateful the fourth chick canceled yesterday.
But a tip for dating: just be more open to some of life's basic experiences, like certain kinds of food and like
Oh yeah. Okay. I forgot about that.
He's so
Oh my
picky.
God, like a baby.
So picky.
or like certain places
Chicken
or
strips and
he eats
fries.
chicken fingers and fries.
Yes.
And no vegetables ever.
Yes.
But like it's
very hard to share an appetizer.
Yeah.
If you're in a situation where you want to like share experiences with people and go out on dates, like you need to be somewhat open to what they like also.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
for me, sex is fine on like a first, second, third date, but like dinner is like a 10th date. I don't want her to know like how bad I am with food like early on.
You're also like, you think you're right. That's the thing with the food, is that you think you're right. You're like, ooh, that's gross. I'm like, you eat garbage all the time. I
Garbage
might be
tastes
right.
fantastic.
Sure. But yeah, I agree with that.
I think for me, the "you think you're right" thing was an issue. It's hard to have a back and forth discussion because you listen, but I don't think you still think you're right. So I don't think you're ever really listening.
Facts.
Agree to disagree more often. It's
Yeah.
okay to disagree.
Yeah. So I feel like those conversations, it was like there was a bit of a mansplaining-ish to them.
Oh, yeah.
Because we'd get to the end and you'd be like, well, this is how it is. I'm like, well, no. And like it never really, like it wasn't an agree to disagree. So I think just like having that option that maybe we won't agree, but that there might be other opinions is helpful.
Fair, fair.
Yeah.
I want to take an opportunity to open it up to the audience a little bit, a little Q&A. Does anyone have any questions, whether it's for me or for any of our wonderful guests here tonight? If you raise your hand, I will call on you and we will see if we can answer anything.
What about the cum lady?
We got one.
Yeah, measuring cup lady, yeah.
What are you looking for now in a relationship?
I had a breakup on I got dumped on Super Bowl Sunday. So I feel
Tragic.
Tragic, yeah.
Yeah. You have no idea how high of stakes that game was for me. Because I fucking hate the Patriots, okay? Fucking hate them amongst most things. And I got dumped an hour before the game, and I was watching it 10 blocks from the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm now furthermore removed from it. So I have, look, I've always been open and interested in fun sexual situations. That's always a good time. If there's something, we're really into, cool. And, but for me, casual sex partner needs to, be someone I can, banter with, too. But I really would, look, I like love. I like being in a relationship. I like being loved. I like loving. I like connecting with someone. I like someone I can be vulnerable with.
Oh, yeah, you love that.
Yeah. But really, I really do, because it's, I don't know. So I would look, a girlfriend is nice, but one of the earliest, I'll say this, in doing this show, one of the earliest lessons I ever got was, why am I not in a relationship, was because I was looking for one, right? I kept being like, why don't I have a girlfriend? It's because I wanted a girlfriend, and I wasn't waiting to see what things developed to be. I wasn't going on dates and saying, oh, I'll date around, and when something clicks, it clicks. No, I was like, oh, but why won't someone be my girlfriend? So any inkling of emotions, I was like, this is the one, finally.
Thirsty.
Yeah, thirsty. Well, because
Emotionally.
look, when you have people who want to fuck you only so much, which I know it sounds like a whatever thing, but because I want more, it does. Look, and I think women in the audience, especially who date men, can at least kind of empathize. When you want something and you're only good enough for, I don't want to say sex is less than, but when you're only good enough for a certain other thing, that's a toll. That takes an emotional. In college, it's fun. It's yeah, I'd like a girlfriend, but oh well, these didn't work out and I got laid. But when I became 24, 25, I think 26, and everyone was just well, this guy's good for sex, but I'm not going to date him long term. That fucks with your head a bit.
I think you don't realize that sex and intimacy are different things. You have that problem.
No, they are, but just the idea.
They're not the same thing. Sex and intimacy are not the same
if I show up to a
thing.
gangbang, I know what I'm in for.
Sure,
okay?
but even on a one-on-one basis, sex and intimacy are not the same thing.
I don't fall for everyone I fuck. But the women that I happen to fall for only want to fuck me. And I think that's fair.
Should we unpack that?
Yeah.
Up to you.
Yeah.
clearly this is no longer my show.
Aww.
No, but seriously.
So what are you looking for currently?
I don't look for things. So when I go on dates, if it's explicit, it's going to be a sexual thing. That's great because now I know what mind space to be in on that date. But if I just go on a date and we're feeling it out, I feel it out. Is this someone I just want to fuck? Fun? Is this someone like, oh my God, like I think this could be a thing? I will then, because you're going to pursue dating differently when you're just fucking somebody versus someone you think it could develop more. So I'm not looking for anything, but I am trying to be more tempered with my expectations, with the emotion stuff.
Question.
Answer.
Would you ever consider just taking a break from sex and dating for a while to figure out what all this is? Because I'm someone that goes to sex and love addicts. I'm someone who has the same problem. And I always would try to get intimacy through sex. I would use it as a manipulative tactic to try to pull someone towards me. And once I trained myself to stop doing that, that took a little time of just not engaging anymore. I think there could be some value in just I know that you have a sex drive, and as do I, but maybe take a second to look into why you need this so much. Daddy.
Did you say daddy? Did you say daddy?
Yeah.
Is my dad in the crowd?
Yeah. I mean, it's always, it's just worth investigating. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everyone, can we have a round of applause for my father who's uncomfortably
William
probably
Procida.
I didn't know if he was going to show up. This just got a lot weirder for me because I just assumed he wasn't here. Sex, I don't know that I'm going to give up that quickly. Dating, I try to, when I go through a breakup, I try to responsibly be like, I am not, because that is the most vulnerable time after a big breakup to go dating, and then you fall for so I purposefully go if I'm into someone, I am gonna take a break. And I think you were the first person I was like, oh, this might be that. What?
Well, because because you're clearly confusing sex and intimacy. So why not take sex off the table for a while so you can understand better what intimacy is?
It's too much fun.
Are you having fun? It doesn't seem like you have fun.
Again, the people I fuck who it's just sex, so much fun.
Can you do just sex, though?
Of course. I just told you about.
I don't know about that.
I just told you.
I love it. And I'm very fun.
We have it recorded. I'm not crazy.
I'm not calling you crazy.
20 minutes ago, I told you there was a fuck buddy who ended things. It was fine because I knew it. She early on said, this is what we're doing. And since I didn't feel a certain way about it, I was like, that's okay.
Okay.
And then I pursued it that way.
I
kind of need to know what we're doing.
Have you mentioned group on the show?
Group?
Yep. Your
therapy?
Billy's in therapy now.
Yeah. Therapy.
Thank God.
So.
Therapy with a bunch of other straightish men in their 20s. Yeah.
Which
it's weird.
great.
My first day there, they made a point to be like, oh, no one here is purely home. It was whatever.
But it's been years since you've been in any
therapy,
kind of
yeah.
right. I
I'm
think this
very
is a
poor.
good
Yeah.
thing. This is a step in the right direction.
No, yeah. My two most recent exes were really big on you should get into therapy. Not necessarily for those reasons, but other reasons.
Sure.
Whether it be gambling or the weight issues, all that stuff.
Yeah. I go to therapy. There's nothing wrong with it.
I don't think there is anything.
As New Yorkers, aren't we? We have to, right?
Yeah.
No, I
It's a
think
requirement
it's
for living here.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just
To be able to
interesting.
vote here, right?
Yeah.
It's just interesting because it's another group of men, and I've never connected with men. So I'm with a group of dudes in their 20s, and I'm you guys kicked the shit out of me in high school. I don't want to open up to you. So I am trying to do something different. And I'm going, and we'll see how that goes. Right. Yeah. We talk about intimacy in there sometimes.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah. So what am I looking for? I don't know. Nothing in particular right now. I'm just following each connection as it goes. So yeah, very long answer. Any other questions? I see a hand up. Bootsy.
When you meet somebody new, do you have a timeline when you kind of want to figure that stuff out? Are you I've got 1 week and I gotta know?
3 hours.
No, if I feel an initial infatuation, I try to, especially after experiences specifically with you two.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
You couldn't hear the question on the audio, so just to repeat the question. When you meet a new person,
how long till you like figure out what you are to one another? Was the question.
Thank you to my tech guy, David Piccolomini. Tinder
Yes.
Tales.
Yeah.
I don't have a timeline at all. It's I just try to follow the connection. If I am infatuated early on, I am, especially after like Emily, definitely especially after
We
you.
get it. Emily was great. We get it.
No, Emily.
God.
No, but like Emily, like seriously, that was like a really significant that whole thing. That made me be more aware of my level of infatuation. So if I feel that way, I'm like aware of it, and I try to like specifically push back speaking about it to see, does that feeling linger, or is it that initial thing? So I have no timeline on figuring it out. I figure it out when I have more defined feelings about what we're doing. And if I think we're just fucking, I think she thinks we're doing more, then I try to clarify. And what just happened?
Glad I could help with that process.
Oh, the spotlight.
Andrea's not on the show anymore.
Thank God, finally. No, it's just like I was opening up and being vulnerable, and then everyone started laughing. So I was like, what happened? So yeah, no specific timeline. Another question. Yes, sir.
Where do you think that I think you admitted a few times that you feel a need to be right. Where do you think the need to feel to be right comes from?
Left brain. I don't know. Just
Group therapy. I love it, guys.
Oh, sorry. Where does the need to be right come from? I think probably from my experience getting bullied, because like I got bullied so intensely, and not just like we all got bullied, but like I was on a red flag list in grade school.
Ladies.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah. I got bullied so much that right before my 8th grade graduation, I went to a K through 8 grade school. The guidance counselor, who was very involved with me over those years, she said, "We're really proud of you. You made it. You're going to get to go to this other place and have a different life. We were really worried about you. I mean, after Columbine, we had you on the red flag list."
I think you confuse being right with being understood. I think everybody wants to be understood.
I'm trying to get to...
And you want to be...
Right, but I'm getting to that. So I got bullied so...
Please interrupt me. Go ahead.
said that to say how intense, to just say, like, I wasn't be like, oh, I got bullied a little. Like, it was really fucking bad.
Right.
And so I would get bullied about things that never made sense. Like, I got called fat all the time, and I look at pictures. I wasn't fat. But they were... When you get called that every day... I mean, they seem really insistent. I guess they're right. And so I believed that, and that never made sense. So if they said, you're fat, or you're a loser, or you're gay, or you're this, I'd be like, no, I'm not. And they'd be like, yes, you are. I'd be like, that doesn't make sense. I think maybe I think that played a part, because being told wrong things by other people harmed me so much that I had this like instinct to correct. And then it branched out to other places. Any other questions? Guys, this is not a comedy show. Hi. Any other questions?
We're available for answering also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Tall man.
Yeah, sorry. For the ladies in Billy's life, what is Billy like on a first date?
The question is, what is Billy like on a first date?
Late.
Roasted.
Roast.
I remember being so annoyed. I think I waited, close to 30 minutes?
Whoa!
There was a valid reason, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I'll rephrase. I hope.
Something with that apartment, I don't know. I just remember being so annoyed because I took the train to Bushwick. I live in Williamsburg, so it's not that far, but I came close to him because he was like, I'm having this like apartment issues, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, cool, let's meet at a dive. Let's watch football. Let's do this. And luckily, there was a game on, so I could keep myself entertained.
Oh, fuck off. Okay.
But I was like, really?
Is the question...
Really?
What is...
Yeah, right. Is the question, what is he like on a first date? Or what does he like on a first date?
No, what is he like?
What is he like? Okay.
Or
both, yeah.
Well, ours was interesting because, like, I actually didn't know we were, like, in a... when we went and got drinks that first time, I didn't know that you were, like, interested.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's complicated because like we first met that because he came into my office with the prescription for physical therapy. So like it was just like, well, first of all, we can't be like going on a date if you're a client.
Yeah.
So like, okay, okay. And then we hung out sort of socially, and I was like, well, okay, if this is going to go anywhere, then you need to not come to physical therapy anymore. Sorry. So I guess, I don't know, it's hard to remember. I remember maybe having like 3 or 4 cocktails at Lady J's in Brooklyn, and getting sort of like awkwardly into conversation about like, oh, wait, what are we? Oh, we're hanging out. Are we just social? Is this a date? Like, so awkward.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I'm also trying to respect that boundary too. Because I'm like, it's like we're both playing kind of chicken with it.
Yeah. We also had like I kind of made the move on you.
You asked me out. Yeah.
I slid into your DMs, but I also like sensed that you wanted. Well, we met at a party, and you thought that a friend of mine was my boyfriend, right?
Yes.
You thought I had a boyfriend, but you walked me to another guy's apartment, and I was trying to get mushrooms and also have sex, and neither of those things happened.
Seems to be a common occurrence.
This is just a podcast about me not getting laid. And then you were like liking my shit a little bit on social media, and me likewise. And then I asked you to hang out. Where was the park our first?
That was our second date.
Our first date.
First day we went to that bar that you really liked. That was by you,
yeah.
And then
okay.
I found out like, oh, she doesn't drink. I'm like, okay, cool. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it was. You were fun. We had a lot of work, both comics, so we can joke around a lot, and so I had a lot of fun with you. I think I walked you to the train.
You're such a gentleman.
I really am. Yeah. I think I walked you to the train. Did you kiss me or no? You kissed me at the bar. Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
He's fun, and you're also like. It's kind of like when you let a caged animal out into a public place. And you're like, I don't know how it's going to behave, but it's kind of fun and like scary, but good. Who knows? Oh, he's eating that. Okay. Yikes.
Why do I do this to myself?
I don't know. But fun. Very like fun loving, and I had a good time. So, yeah.
I think we have time for one more question. You shot it right up. What is it? What we got?
So if you meet a girl and you guys are dating and she's into you as much as you're into her, but her main thing is that she wants like a totally monogamous relationship, could you handle that? Would you be able to do that?
No.
Would
If
Billy go
you met
monogamous?
someone that you were super, super into and liked each other a lot, and her main deal breaker was that she wanted to be monogamous, would you do it?
No, but I would first try to see if we can communicate some sort of.
I would
in
convince
between.
her to not be monogamous.
No.
And then just
that's-
let it drag out
Look.
until she hated me.
That's not fair.
Oh,
because-
is it not?
No. That's not fair because like monogamy and non-monogamy is such a strict binary. Like it's you're either.
What are words
if you're in
and
a,
boundaries?
Look, if you're in a monogamous relationship and you
Look
have
at the air quotes.
settle down.
Yeah.
If you are in a monogamous relationship and you have some threesomes every once in a while, you're not monogamous, but you're very like on the spectrum. They're like
I'll agree.
no,
I'll
no.
actually agree with that.
if this is monogamy, if this is monogamy at the very end, if this is monogamy at the end, all of this is non-monogamous. So if you have some threesomes on the side, you are like right up next to it. But like once a year, you guys have a fun threesome on your anniversary. That's not monogamous. But yeah, so I would try to see what we could figure out.
Did you?
Because I do enjoy I'm just not a monogamous person. But I don't need to be like, yeah, I gotta fuck everyone all the time. I gotta go. You gotta fuck other. Like I'm not into that. I'm
That was me acting out, jerking off all over myself.
I am so
Yeah.
mad the spotlight was off on me for that.
They still saw us doing it.
Look, I'm very, very Italian. Yeah, I would communicate and I would try to see what we could. Now, if we ultimately can't figure something out, then yeah, that would be a deal breaker for me. But like, I wouldn't just go like whatever. Like, if I'm really into them, I'll try to see what can happen because also relationship terms and boundaries are fluid and change. People feel one way this time and then they feel this way another time. So if we're always checking in, I don't know why anyone is talking because it's not your fucking show. So that's cool.
Oh, there's Mean Billy for you.
I mean, look, yeah, if you have a microphone, you're welcome to talk or if we invite you to it. I don't know who that is, but you should shut your face. It's cool. It's cool. I'm the one bearing my soul, and you know, are in cargo shorts. So, would I do? Is a deal breaker for me, but I would try to figure it out. Guys, that is the most awkward, intense way to end a podcast. But didn't they do great? Keep it going. I want to thank right now all these women who for some reason at some point decided to get naked with me. You're all hashtag so brave.
Thank you.
Keep it going for Alyssa, for Emily, for Andrea Allen. Hot Mess Comedy Hour right here.
Thank you.
Keep it going for my intern Mia in the back. Let me get some claps for David Piccolomini on the tech board. He hosts a great show called Tinder Tales. You can also check out. I want to thank Karma for having us. Give it up for yourselves for coming out tonight. So much fun, and thank you again, obviously, sponsors, because they paid me to say that sentence. Thank you so much for coming out. This was a really wonderful time. It wasn't just a comedy show, but I like to think like a fairly, somewhat intimate experience that we kind of got to share with you. And I hope you all get home safe. Good night.